Hi guys, Gaming Bear here. Right, birthday package, IL-1. What's it like? So £13.14. Is it worth the money? So let's get in, do a review, and see what. Well, first I'm going to buy it. You get the plane for £13.44. Now, what else can you get for £13.44? So it's a tier 6 ground attack. So £13.44. You get the, it's a little bit more than the XP50, which is very, very nice. The Air Cobra, it's a little bit more than that, which is also very nice. The Key 88 is alright. The Spitfire DB, the 605, very, very nice. It's a little bit more expensive than that. The Mustang, a little bit more expensive than that, which is a nice plane as well. Actually, not quite as good. I find that the Mustang is not quite as... It's good, but not quite as good as the new Boomerang. So that's the tier 6s. So what does it's just a little bit more expensive. The next Yak that you get at tier 7 is the Yak 3RD for £21.72. So for about £8 less, is it worth the £8 less? Is it a good deal? So I'll get this and we will have a look and see exactly what it's like. Okay, we've got it. Now let's get in. There we go. Looks pretty much like the normal IL. So let's compare it to the IL. Well, you've got the IL Mark II. And we will see what we've got with this. Now, upgrades, you can either have the bombs or not the bombs. Is it the bomb? That's what we need to ask. Now, taking the bombs off, what happens? You increase the airspeed by 1. But it's a ground attack, so you want to keep the bombs on. So I want to just to let you know about that. So, let's have a look. IL-2. Let's have a look. So, similarly, there's no rear gunner. So, the IL-2 at tier 5. How does it improve up to the IL-1? I know the number's changing. Usually they go the other way, don't they? But no. So let's have a look. So survivability. It's heavier, but it's got less hit points. Interesting. Gun armament is half the amount. That doesn't sound good. So you've got 2 bombs, but you're now moving to 2 23mm cannons. Alright? Instead of 2 37mm cannons and 8 rockets. So it's a tier above. You got less in the way of firepower. It's half the firepower, and it's but this is actually a multi-role fighter instead of an attack aircraft. So instead of doing a straight comparison like this, we'll have a look at the airspeed. So airspeed goes up to 270 from 240. Maneuverability goes up to 10 or down to 10.8 from 18.4. So incredibly maneuverable in comparison. The rate of roll is 100. So very nice, and the altitude goes from 500 up to 800. So it's a fighter version of the IL with bombs, but with a very nice 23mm cannons. So what we need to do is really compare it to the likes of the Yak. So which is going to be more up its alley, and so we'll see where it comes. So survivability. You're looking in comparison to a fighter, you're now looking huge weight, very good survivability, great hit points, a very, very tough plane. Gun armament, you're looking 23 mils instead of 20 mils. You've got no MGs, but you're 2 bombs. Okay, then we come to the airspeed. It's down 270 compared to 304. Alright, you're sort of seeing where this is. The stall speed is 120, which isn't bad, not as good as the Yak, which is 110. We then come to the rate of climb. Now the rate of climb is 53.5 for a multi-roll compared to the Yak, which is 50.2. So you have 3 more ability. We then get the maximum dive speed. It's 50 less than the Yak. So it's an interesting combination of factors which will show when we test it all out. Now, as we can see, the manoeuvrability is 10.8 compared to 8.3 for the Yak. It's not really a dogfighter. It's more like a heavy fighter. Really, it's more like a heavy fighter in comparison. So you've got to bear that in mind. So we then come to the controllability. It's not as controllable. Rate of roll is 100 compared to 140. So its abilities, it says multi-role fighter, but really I think it should say heavy fighter. And altitude performance, best at 800 meters compared to 1,000 meters. It's not going to get up high to chase additional planes. So multi-role, your task is getting in, drop those bombs, deal damage to things, and I would say that this is probably an anti. Now, I've done a Christmas meta video, which is saying that the meta at the moment is full of ground attack planes which are causing problems and helping teams to win. This is a counter to that. Looking at the numbers, I feel that this is a counter to it, because this could hunt down the ILs going in against the ground attack targets. So, without further ado, let's put the basic 11,000 of equipment on and give us a first run for its money. So, with that in mind, now I've got an idea of potentially what its role is. We'll get that in and get straight into the first game. We've got no equipment, as I like having everything sort of balanced. You know what you're getting, and then we can see, is it worth it as this package of what you do with it. But yeah, those basic fire extinguishers, I think you should always put those on before you get into your first game. So let's see exactly where we are and focus on taking down their ground attack planes. So that's what I'm going to do with this.
Attention, you are entering the combat zone. Get ready for battle.
Okay, we're in the south, and I'm going to go in, move in slightly ahead of the ground attacks. Let's see what we're looking at team-wise. Let's have a look. A couple of ground attacks. They've got an IL-10. Let's have a look. So, how good is this going to be? We know how tough, I know definitely always, how tough IL-10s are going to be. We're on the left, so... hi buddy.
You are approaching the front line. Off we go.
So, let's go. Let's get in. And go in and assist. Powering our way through. Hello! Hi all. Oh, that's... Thank you. Really appreciate. Thank you, really appreciate it. So let's get into do a little bit of ground attack while we're coming in, as that's something this can do as well. So it's a semi-ground attack for taking out their planes on the way through. That's that done. Let's get some bombs into there. Let's take out this other anti-air. Boosting up, and there we have our main nemesis. Forcing him out of the area. So yeah, it's very nice against... He's trying his best. I've got to watch out for a bomb potentially from him. So it's a little bit slow at following, but you will take them down, and that's it. We've secured the area. Okay, now next one. So it's the job of being an anti-ground attack plane is proving true. You've got 15 seconds of boost, which is quite nice. And we'll go in, try and sort this out. What are we facing up there? So we'll go in low. they won't expect, they'll expect the normal Spanish Inquisition. No, they'll expect a normal sort of ground attack, but it's not. So it's more of a fighter, so it won't be so easy for them to take out. So first thing first, I'm actually going to come in against the towers. You've got to think in 3D as you're doing this. Someone on my tail, got a bomb remaining. We've got no... Oh, fire extinguisher. Drop a bomb on the way through. Try and catch him in the blast, didn't quite work. I do need a bit of assistance, but hey, it is what it is. So we'll slow it down, try and wait for him to overshoot. And then take him... Where is he? Now, he wouldn't expect me to go like this. Now, he's a heavy plane. He thinks he's got me. Now, more than one of them, it's, you know, numerous. That must have been 3 of them on me. Two to 3 of them on me. We've distracted their team. 2,000 anything over 2,000 points is good. Now, we are up ahead, we've got the other areas, they've been distracted, they've gone for me, and it's allowed the rest of our team to win. So it was as a combination plane, it's really, really interesting. And that same guy coming back in again. Let's try and boost in after him. He knows what's coming. Same again. Yep, so we carry on distracting them. Let's go back for the other base. We've taken him out. He tried the same thing and he's gone. We are seriously up points-wise, 9-3. Tactically, this is a very, very neat little plane. Surprisingly good. That combination of ground attack and fighter is surprising that people just wouldn't be ready for. And I like it a lot. Yeah, very, very nice. So, get some bombs in here. Getting on that gun there. Take that out so that it can't fire on my buddies. Some on my tail. Oh no, engine damaged. What's happening? Someone coming in on me.
Victory is in sight. Keep it up.
Several, so at least 2 of them on me. Stall warning. That's it. Try and pull up the nose. On fire. Oh. But it's distracting 2 or 3 planes to have to deal with you. Which means that they're not there dealing with the rest of your team. So, 3,400. I'd want to be at about 4,000 points, but that's if I was in a fighter. This is doing much more to assist the team than just that. So, for those reasons, you can get away with doing less actual damage on fighters. Because you're doing other things. You're helping your team win in other ways. And what we'll see exactly where it comes.
Receiving reports about rapidly deteriorating weather conditions.
Okay.
Support will be unable to reach you.
Shucks.
Do you read me? Over. I'm proud
So
of you, pilot.
basically, it was 2
Head back
sorties,
home.
4,400, so 2,200 per sortie, which isn't bad at all, really. You know. And so let's analyse the performance at this side of things. It feels a very smooth plane. It's very good at taking out ground attacks. You can even attack heavy bombers and heavy fighters. As a multi-role, it is very, very useful. But only 62,000 credits. Now, the boomerang I've just done made 111,000 on the first sortie. This is half that. But this is more interesting. More interesting to play. It's a higher level. Is it worth the money? I would have hoped that it would make about 70,000. It's just below that. 4,000 points. There we go. Yeah, I'll be your friend. So yeah, back to this. Let's have a look. So 4,000 points, tier 6 in a tier 7 battle, and taking down Larry in the F4, very, very easy. Taking down a tier 7 ground attack plane like it was. Well, it wasn't easy, but it wasn't that difficult. Normally, well, these guns just do it. It's a great combination, and that's what it is. It's a multi-role. If you want straight dogfighting, you won't get it. If you want straight ground attack, you won't get it. That's why this is a multi-role. Now, is it worth the deal? It's a unique plane. It really is. It's the first real anti-ground attack plane that I've seen as on the premium side. So multi-round, if it said, yeah, multi-role, but its role really seems to be not just ground attack, but anti-ground attack, with a lot of options. And to help your team win, I think this is a super duper little plane. Now for the money, I feel that it's a little bit overpriced, but the ability of it to do what it can do is worth a premium. You get no bells and whistles, you get the plane. And it's a good little plane, it really is, and it's fun to play. And that fun aspect, I would say, combined with the uniqueness, makes it worth that little bit extra than the other planes. So you don't make as many credits, but you have more fun in a more interesting way that makes your enemies have to deal with you. And any plane that makes 2, maybe 3 fighters on the enemy team have to come and deal with you is a great ability, and tactically it's something out of the ordinary. Anything that can make your opponent have to deal with you is a really good plane. So the numbers underneath belie something that is a better plane because of its characteristics than it should be. I could tell immediately that the role that it needs to be in, and it does. It fulfills that role completely. So if you like this very unusual, out-of-the-box thinking, especially with the meta in the video I'd literally just produced, saying that the current meta is switching to lots of ground attack and high-up work, that you need to deal with those, and suddenly Wargaming's come out with this plane that fits that niche to suit the meta. So I see that this, over the Christmas period, and depending on how the rest of the meta goes, is going to have a lot of options, and will be a significant player and a significant killer of ground attack planes, where all those IL players are going to be going in and you'll be up behind them, you'll be moving in, you've got the speed to take them, you come in behind, blast them with your 23 mils, they can't get away and they can't do anything about you, and you've got the armour to actually take them down. So yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. You're going to be giggling, and they're going to be writing nasty things in the comments because you are doing so well and destroying them and not allowing their team to win, and allowing, conversely, your team to win in the background. This is a game-winning plane, and I haven't said that about many planes at all. So yeah, for a game-winning plane, the IL-1 is there. So, I'm the Gaming Bear. This is the IL-1. Is it worth the money? Definitely. And I would say it's growing on me in the theories of how it works for many different aspects, not the usual ones. It's got to be really at least a triple pause or a 3-star plane for what it is and what it does and what it brings. Now, you don't get many of those. You don't get those every day. So, out of the two that have come out, between this and the Boomerang, which is better? The Boomerang is a very good fighter. This is unique. This has got its own role. And that's all I can say. Thank you so much for watching. I'm the Gaming Bear, and this has been the IL-1. See you on the next one. Bye guys. See ya.